Continuing on, now I'm going to start video part 2 for the study guide. The first one's already uploaded. Let's go. Here we go. It says, solve it. You can watch it at home, make it a family movie weekend. There you go. Math movie weekend. Here we go. It says, solve and check your answer. Be careful with these. Look up, please. Be careful with these because some of you only focus on the solving and you don't read the instructions. Make sure you read the instructions and answer exactly what they're asking you to do. So what two things are they asking us to do on this one? Solve and check. Are they asking us for properties and for plotting? No, not this time around. So make sure whenever they do, read the instructions and answer appropriately. Here we go. Line down the equal sign. Let's do this one together. Focus, please. So even though we would want to start with subtracting 4, we first, in order to do that, it needs to look like this. Look up. It needs to look like that if we wanted to subtract 4. Is that correct? That means we need to get rid of that piece out of the way. What's the 10 doing? It's dividing, so we need to multiply both sides times 10. Times 10 times 10. That's a giant 1. We're left with 7x plus 4 equal to 60. Now we know what to do, yes? Subtract 4, 7x equals 56, bless you. Lastly, divide by 7, x equals 8. Am I done? No, I solved, I'm done with that, now I'm going to check. So write check, rewrite the equation, 7x plus 4 over 10. Equals 6, but instead of x, I'm going to substitute 8. So it's 7 times plus 4 over 10 equals 6. So instead of x, I'm going to substitute the value of 8. What is 7 times 8? 56 plus 4 over 10 equals 6. What is 56 plus 4? 60 over 10 equals 6. What is 60 divided by 10? 6 equals 6. We good? All right, let's do one more of these on your paper. I'm gonna pause really quick. This one says, solve and name the properties used. And they give us an equation with fractions. I'm gonna zoom in. So what are the two things that they're asking us to do? Solve and name properties. Don't forget to do that, please, or else you're gonna be docked points. And remember, 1 point here and there, they add up. Now that we're increasing the number of problems. Does that make sense? So stay focused and answer each question correctly. Here we go. First we solve, then we write the properties, or if you want to do them at the same time as we're doing the step, that's fine. So here we have an equation with fractions all over the place. To get rid of the fractions, we need to multiply times the common denominator. Yes? So let's see. So 5 and 5 is the same denominator, okay? How about between 3 and 5? What's the denominator? 15. Between 4 and 15, we multiply that 60. So we're going to multiply times 60. And notice here, look up, be careful with these, because some of them you see that you can barely tell the negative sign right there. You guys see that? So be careful when you're doing those. So 6 times 3, that's 18, or negative 180 over 4k, plus, bless you, 60 times 2 is 120 over 3 equals, 60 times 3 is 180 over 5 plus, and 60 times 4, that's 240 over 5k. Before we move on, I want you to write the property. What is the property that we just did here? Write that in there, distributive property. That is correct. I'm going to simplify. When I simplify, there is no property for that. We're just simplifying it to make it smaller. Here we go. This becomes negative 45k. Is that correct? Yeah. Plus 40 equals 36 plus 48k. Okay? See what I did there? Okay, never mind. Line down the equal sign. All right. Question. Can we simplify the left side anymore? How about the right side? No. So, which is the smallest variable? Negative 45, so I add 45 to each side, 45K. Add 45K to each side. These cancel, we're left with 40 equals 36 plus 93K. So here, before I move on, what property did I use for each side? What did I do to each side? I added, so this is the what? Addition, property of equality. Continue. What do I do next? Subtract 36, subtract 36. We're left with 4 equals 93K. And what did I do to each side in the red? I subtracted, so what is the property? Subtraction, property of equality. And what's our last step? Divide by 93, divide by 93. We're left with 4 over 93 equals K. And what is the property that I did at the end? Division, property of equality. We good? See one more of these on your paper. Example 15Q. Are you glad for this one? They're not asking you to check this one. Right? Am I right? Am I right? All right, here we go. Copy this one on your paper. Sure. Here it is. Copy that one. I'm going to pause this and do that one by yourself. Go. 16. Let me zoom in. It says, solve and name the properties again. Here we go. Line down the equal sign. What do I do first? Distribute. So I distribute. That gives me 32U. Distribute it again. Don't forget to distribute the negatives, please. And this is positive. 16 times 53, let's see. 53 times 16, that's 18. I got 1, 31, 53, 8, 4, 8, 848 equals. Distribute. This is negative 784U. Distribute. This is negative 112 times 58. That's 16. 8 plus 1. That's 9. And 8. 10. 5 plus 1 is 6. 5. That's 6, 9, 14, got 1, and that's 6. 6,496. So let's write our property right there. What was the first step, everyone? Distributive property. All right. Yes, Justin, we use multiplication, but we distribute it. All right. Next step. Smallest variable, everyone. So we add 784U, add 784U. We're left with, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 816U plus 848. Equals negative 6,496. And what was the property that we used right there? Addition, property of equality. Next, what do? Subtract 848. Subtract 848. We're left with 816U equals negative, these combined, right? That's 14, I got 1, 14, I got 1, 12, 13, I got 1, and that's 7. And what property did I use there? Subtraction, property of equality. All All right, and at the end, we divide by 816, divide by 816. We're left with u equals, let's see, and then the answer is going to be a negative, right? All right, so 7344 divided by 816. 816. So how many times is 816 put in here? Seven times? Okay, let's try 7. 7 times 6, that's 42. I got 4. 7 times 1 is 7 plus 4, that's 11. 7 times... Oh, my bad. I started from the wrong place. Let's go one more. Over 7 times. 7 times 6, that's 42. I got 4. 7 times 1 is 7 plus 1, that's plus 4, that's 11. 7 times 8, that's 56 plus 4, that's 60. And that leaves us with 1,000 and change. No, we need to fit more, right? Want to try 8? Nice. 8. Let's see. 8 times 6, that's 48. I got 4. 8 times 1 is 8. Plus 4, that's 12. I got 1. 8 times 8, that's 64. Plus 1, that's 65. Subtract. So let's see. This is 14. Take away from here, so that's a 3. All right, so that's 6, 1, and 8. We can fit it one more time. Oh my goodness. So the answer is u equals negative 9. And we got that. Okay, good. All right. Do we need another one of these, or we got it? No. Just remember, distribute and property. Yes? Okay, let's move on to number 17. 17. 17. Okay, key word. Look at this one. What is the first word that comes to mind right here? Percent. So as soon as you see this, the first thing I want you to do somewhere above it, I want you to write is over of equals percent over 100. Even if you write it in small, just so that you can have that as a reference. Are we there? So then from there you do blank, now you write a little bit bigger, over blank, over 100. All right, here we go. Let's see what they give us. Do they give us the is? Yes, it's this one. It goes above, 392. Do they give us the of? Yes, it goes down here, 63. So what's the only one that they don't give us? The percent, so we're going to write S. So here we go. Do we have a fraction equal to another fraction? Yes, so we start with a variable. What is 63 times x? 63x equals 392 times 100 is 39220. Are we there so far? All right, let's solve. Divide by 63, divide by 63. Now, be careful with this one because at the end, look up, it says round to the nearest tenth of a percent. That means point and the next number after the decimal. All right? So here we go. So let's get, this is x, and we're going to do the wiggles for approximately because if it's rounded, so this is 39200 divided by 63. So let's see. How many times? 6. All right. 18, I got 1. 6 times 6 is 36 plus 1, that's 37. Subtract. That leaves me with 80, 12, that's 14. Bring down the 0. It's in there 2 times. That's 126. Subtract that 14. 14, and that's twice. That's 126. Subtract that 14. What do you guys notice? It's repeating, so it's 0.22. So if we round it to the nearest 10, it's this one. Does it stay at 2 or does it go up to a 3? 2, so this is 622.2%. But are we done? No, let's answer the question. What percent of 63 is 392? 622.2% is approximately, sorry, my bad, I should have started the other way. Approximately 622% of 63 is, what was the other number? 392. 392. Thank you. Make a note for yourself in case some of you forgot. Last time some of you got docked because you didn't write your statement. Some of you didn't round to the nearest, whatever they're asking you to round. Alright? Do another one of those. Do this one by yourself. I'll pause the video. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you. Point it that way. Number 18. Here we go. It says, a rental car agency charges blah, 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 blah. Another rental car agency, blah, 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 blah. So let's cube this. So, cubed. Alright. Let's circle important numbers. 18 per day. 19 cents per mile. I'm sorry, 12. Yeah, I did that on purpose. You were paying attention. 23 per day, and 6 cents per mile. Okay, those are important. Underline the question so that we can answer the question at the end. How many miles per day will have to be driven for the cost of the car from one agency to cost, or to equal the cost of the other agency, okay? Next, box important information. A rental car agency, another agency. Okay? And of course, the same car, that's also important. Put an X on the E. We're going to exclude and draw like this for the letter D because we're going to draw our table. How many agencies are they talking about? 2. So 2 lines down. 1, 2, 1 across. Do they give us the names of the agencies? No. So what do we label the first column? A, M, B, and right here is the total. All right. Let's write an expression for A. They charge already $18 per day. So that's up front. So we put what? Plus 18. However, how much do they charge per mile? 12 cents. Think about this one. Be careful. Cents. How do we write 12 cents? Tell your neighbor, please. 0.12. Do we know how many miles? No. So we're going to write 0.12x. Some of you got this one backwards the other day. You wrote 18x and whatever at the end, so be careful. I want you to write me the expression for B, company B. Do that right now. Write the expression for B, for the other agency. All right. Who got 0.06x plus 23. Yes? Be careful with that one because some of you would have written 0.6, but 0.6 is actually 60% or for 60 cents. All right? However, here on the total, this is where we're going to write our equation because it says where the agencies what? Equal the cost. So what do we write? 0.12x plus 18 equal 0.06x plus 23. Let's solve this. We got negative 0.06x, negative 0.06x. We're left with, let's see, 0.06x plus 18 equals 23. From there, subtract 18, 0.06x equals 5. And lastly, divide by 0.06, divide by 0.06. X equals, let's see, 5 divided by 0.06. We move the decimal how many times? 1, 2, and we add 2 zeros. So we get rid of this 0. 6 into 5, no. 6 into 50, 8 times, that's 48. 2, bring down the 0. 3, that's 18. 2, decimal. What do you guys notice? It repeats, right? So, it should be 83.3, repeating. And this will do the wiggles because it's approximate, yes? So therefore, let's answer the question. How many miles per day will have to be driven for the cost of the car from first AC equal to the cost of the car the second? So then you would write approximately 83.3 miles would be driven for both agencies to cost the same. 10Q. Are you guys sure?
Yes.
Actually, hold on. This is what I want from the next one. I'm going to give you one more of these. You don't have to work it out, but I want you to show me the equation before we move on. Here it goes. I'm going to pause this. Number 19, here we go. Focus, please. Focus. It says, find 3 consecutive integers. How many of them? How many lines down? 3. 1, 2, 3, and 1 across. Consecutive integers. So right now, I'm just going to write integer number 1, integer number 2, integer number 3, and total. Okay. So let me read this again. Find 3 consecutive integers. Okay, I'm done with that part setting up. After that, it says, such that, what? 3 times the greatest okay, so right now we don't have any information. So question, look up please. Do we know what our first integer is? No, so what can we label it? X, okay. The word consecutive means that they follow one another. So if the next one follows this one, so what do I write here? Follows, that means it goes one more, is that correct? So what do I write? X plus 1. And if this one follows the first one, it's what? X plus 2. That is correct. Okay. Now that I have that, let's read it again. It says, let's set up our equation over here. It says, such that, pay attention please, here goes the first part of the equation. 3 times the greatest integer. Which is my greatest integer? X plus 2, right? It says 3 times the greatest integer. How do I write that? 3 times x plus 2. Are we there? The word is, what does that mean? Equals. Equals, okay? Go to the last part. It says 3 less than 4 times the least integer. First of all, which is the least integer? X. So it says 3 less than 4 times the least. How do we write 4 times the least? 4x, and 3 less is minus 3. How we doing? Yes. Okay, so look up, please. So let's say I gave you the number 100. I need two more consecutive numbers. What is the next consecutive? Bless you. 101, and the next one? 102. So let's see. Using this one, what do I do to this one to get to here? Plus 1. What do I do to this one to get to here? Plus 2. Since we don't know what the first one is, that's why we write x, and this one is x plus 1, x plus 2. All right? Look up. Do we know how to solve this? Yes? All right, let's do that. We got distribute. This is 3x plus 6 equals 4x minus 3. What do I do from there? Subtract 3x, subtract 3x. We get 6 equals x minus 3. Lastly, plus 3 plus 3. 9 equals x. Are we there so far? Now check this out. Here goes how I'm going to evaluate this one. First, you need to have an equation, 1 point. You need to have the work, 2 points. You need to have a solution, 3 points. Then you need to answer the question. Find 3 consecutive integers. What would I write? The 3 consecutive integers are, let's find out. We said x is what, 9? So then what is the next one? 10 and 11. So are 9, comma, 10, comma, and 11. 10 cubed. So this is one more point. How many total points for this one? 4. 4 points for this one. Now, last time, some of you did everything in your noodle and you just guessed. Well, guess what? That only gives me the answer, which is 1 point. How many points are you going to be missing? 3. That's a lot of points. You need to show me, number 1, an equation, number 2, the work, number 3, the solution, and number 4, the statement. Let's do another one of these. Here we go. Let me pause this. Number 20. What do we have here in absolute value? Line down the equal sign. Let's do this one together. Question. Is the absolute value by itself? Let me zoom in a little bit more. No. What's outside of it? The 3, and it's multiplying, so what is the inverse? Divide by 3, divide by 3. There's a giant 1. We're left with absolute value, x minus 2 equals 9. Question, is there anything outside the absolute value at this point? No. So at this point, we sketch 2 arrows, because one for negative 9, one for positive 9, and we write whatever's inside the absolute value. X minus 2 equals that. X minus 2 equals that. Okay. Let's solve. Plus 2 plus 2. X equals negative 7. Plus 2 plus 2. X equals 11. Am I done? No. Solution set. Negative 7. 11. Am I done? No. Let's plot. Negative 7. 11. That's exactly how it's done, using the entire process. Last time some of you just solved it, you forgot to plot, forgot to do a bunch of stuff. On this one, to solve, which means you do the solution set. Julian, you just do the solution set and the plotting. Are we there? Let's do another one of these. I'll pause the video. Oh, my bad. Let's go to number 21.
Because it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. What a good idea I came up with. So do number 21. I'll give you a head start. Ready, go. Copy that and go. Sorry, let me get you started. There you go. Boom. There you go. There you go. Go. All right, let's see. What'd you get for this one? All right, fine. Go ahead, Connor. No solution. Hands if you got that. That is correct. Let's find out why. What's outside the absolute value? The plus 6, subtract 6, subtract 6. Focus. Absolute value 3x minus 4 equal to negative 1. Is there anything outside the absolute value? No. That means we only have an absolute value on this side. What do we have on this side? A negative number. Is there such a thing as a negative absolute value? That's why there's no solution. Yes. No, because absolute values are distances. They count as positives. So that's why if it's a negative, no solution. Just to recap, look up please. Focus. Look up please, write your sentences down. If I give you this, absolute value 2x plus 1 equals to 5. Don't answer it yet. Absolute value 2x plus 1 equals to negative 3. And absolute value 2x plus 1 equals to 0. Look at that. Is there anything outside of this absolute value? No. How many solutions am I going to get to this one? 2 solutions. Why? Because it's a positive number. Tell your neighbor how many solutions for this one? 0 solutions because this is a negative. Tell your neighbor how many solutions for this one? 1 solution. Just to clarify, look up please. Focus. To clarify this one, if I was to continue with this one, instead of doing 2 of these, you can't have 2 zeros, 1 negative positive. You only have 1, so you write 2x plus 1 equals to 0. You solve, and there's only 1 solution. Are we there? All right. Let's go to number 22. It says, focus please. Some of you struggled with this one. This is a word problem for absolute values. It says, a poll estimates that 57% of likely voters are in favor of additional restrictions on teenage drivers. The poll has a margin of error of plus or minus 3%. Write and solve an absolute value equation to find the minimum and maximum of voters that actually support the restrictions. Look up. What is the formula I asked you to write when you got to absolute values? Tell your neighbor, please. Absolute value Q minus blank, close the absolute value, equals blank. Write that in there, please. And now we're going to fill out the information. So watch. They give us 57%. But which one is plus minus? The 3. So if the 3 is a plus minus, that means it becomes a negative and it becomes a positive. So that one goes where? Right here. So which one goes inside? 57. And then we solve. Let's solve this. Here we go. Negative 3, positive 3. This is Q minus 57 equals that. Q minus 57 equals that. So therefore, plus 57 plus 57, Q equals 54, plus 57 plus 57, Q equals 60. So the question, it says, write and solve an absolute value equation to find the minimum and maximum percent of voters. So what would we write on my statement? The minimum percent of voters is 54%, comma, and the maximum percent of voters is 60%. 10Q. Yes, you can just add, but since you're an algebra, you need to show it with equations. Boom, let's go. Because you're in life and you're in school. All right, let's do another one. Here we go. Woo! Let's go. Let me pause this and give you one more. Sure, and then they were like, Gavin, wake up. All right, here we go. Number 23, it says, focus. It says, write the inequality. First things first. What do we need? A variable and the dividing point. Write that out first. Variable and dividing point. Doesn't matter which variable you use. I usually use X, but I'm gonna use X. And what is our dividing point, everyone? Negative 2.5. Okay? The dividing point is right here. DT. All right. Dividing point. All right. So with that said, how do we find out about the arrow? Well, I'm going to set the point on the shaded region. The number I'm going to use is negative 3. Negative 3 and negative 2.5. The bar was originally balanced right there. Which one is heavier now? Negative 2.5, so that means it dropped. That means the arrow is pointing that way, so this is pointing that way. Does it include the point? Is it a solid point? No, so we don't write the equal sign, so this is minus 3. Let's do another one out of this. Example 23Q. Get it, 23Q. Use it on that same one, on that same column. I'm going to just draw it right here. Look up, right here. Focus. Put a solid point on 5. And pointing to the right. Write the inequality, inequality for this one. I'm sorry. Right now, as long as you just write the inequality for this one, that's fine. All right, check with the neighbor, see what they got. Okay, here it goes. Mia, R. What is your inequality? Sorry. Greater than or equal to what? 5. Hands if you got that. All right, before I continue, Mia, which number did you test? Huh? The 6. So is 6 greater than or equal to 5? Yes. Now this is what I'm going to check for this one. Number 1, that you have the inequality. That's good. That's a point. But the work is the check. If you don't have to check, that's minus 1 point. Make a note for yourself on this one. Remember, and put a heart. Remember to check. Go to number 24. Here we go. You zoom out. On your paper, this one comes out complete. This one didn't come out complete here. Let me do. Yeah, I do. They're over here on the side so you can have extra room to work. Negative 3W plus 12 greater than or equal to negative 9.
Wait a minute, isn't it just underneath the text?
Yeah, but it was it had the other part over here. So on your paper, guys, I'm going to have it all the way to the end so you have room here to work it out. Does that make sense? All right, let me zoom in. Focus. There we go. Line down the inequality symbol. What's our first step, everyone? Minus 12 minus 12, negative 3w greater than or equal to negative 21. Next step, divide by what? Negative 3. That is correct. Since we're divided by negative, we flip the inequality symbol. W less than or equal to 7. Make a note for yourself. Asterisk heart. Don't forget to flip the symbol. Alright, so the instructions were solve, graph, and write the solution set. So let's write the solution set before we graph on this one. Here it goes. Solution set W such that W less than or equal to 7. And our graph, yeah, for the absolute value, you do the solution set after the graph. Here we go. Let's graph this. We got 7. Solid point, bless you. Which number do you want to check? 0? Alright, let's see. Is 0 less than or equal to 7? Yes, so that means we're going to say to the left. Doesn't matter which one. So check this out. Here go the points. Do we have the work? Yes. Solution? Yes. Solution set? Yes. Graph? Yes. And check? Yes. That's a 5-point problem. This last page is going to be heavy in points. Make sure you do all the parts. Alright? Number 25 is very similar. Do that one by yourself. I'll give you the head start for number 25. There it is. Solve, graph, and write the solution set. I'll give you a head start. Copy that and go. Alright, here goes the process. Line down the inequality symbol. Distribute, 10w plus 20 greater than 5w plus 9. Are we there so far? From there, subtract 5w, subtract 5w. We're left with 5w plus 20 greater than 9. Are we there so far? Minus 20 minus 20, 5w greater than negative 11. Are we there? Divide by 5, divide by 5. We're left with w greater than negative 2 and 1/5, or w is greater than negative 2.2. And if you got that? Okay. Now let's write our solution set. Solution set W such that W greater than negative 2 and 1/5, or in decimal form. No, I'm saying some of you did it like this, some of you did it like this. Either one is correct. Let's practice. 2 and 1/5, negative 2 and 1/5 is about right here. Is it an open or closed point? Open. And which number do you want me to test? 0 or, okay, let's test 0. There it goes. Is 0 greater than negative 2 and 1/5? Yes, this one works, so I'm going to shade going that direction. And we got that? Okay, good. So move on, let's go to number 26. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Same thing this one, guys. Solve, focus, write your solution set, and graph. So let's do this one together. Actually, yeah, let's work it together. Here we go. Line down the inequality symbol. Oh, but we have 2 of them. All right. So that means this is a compound inequality. So what do we need to do? Subtract 6, subtract 6, subtract 6. We end up with negative 2 less than or equal to 2y less than 14. Are we there so far? Next, let's see. Divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. This is negative 1 less than or equal to y less than 7. Are we there so far? Okay, let's graph this. After the graph, that's when we find out if we write our solution set. Let me zoom out. There it goes. I'm going to do the first part in red. So I'm going to box this that way. Our dividing point is negative 1, and it's included because it's got an equal sign right here, okay? And then, which number do you want me to test, 0 or negative 2? 0 is negative 1 less than or equal to 0. Yes, so that means I'm going to go towards the 0. There it is. That way. Okay, let me zoom out. Towards the 0. There it is. Next, I'm going to go to blue, the second part, this one. 7 is my dividing point, but it's an open point. Open point. Make sure you show me that it's open, please. Next, I'm going to test 0 again. Is 0 less than 7? Yes, I'm going to go in that direction. What kind of inequality is this? An and. Therefore, underneath this, the easiest way to write your solution set is like this. Solution set of y such that, what are my extremes? Negative 1 and 7. Put the y in between with arrows to the left. However, which one needs an equal sign? This one right here, so it's a negative. Do one more of these. Okay. Here we go. Number 26 cubed. Example 26 cubed. We did? What did I say? Boom! Let's go. Number 26 cubed. Here we go. 8 is less than 3x plus 2. Hold on. Zoom in. 3x plus 2 less than or equal to, what is it? Okay, 14. Copy that, there you go. See if you can solve it, graph it, and write your solution set. Go. Number 27. Okay, some of you are going to stay to help me since you guys have been talking for a while, and I already have names picked out, so hold on to your horses. Or everybody go like this. Bear with me. All right, here we go. So for this one again, solve, graph, and write the solution set. So let me zoom in. All right, here we go. Line down the inequality symbol. So look up. What operations do we have outside the absolute value? Multiplication and addition. Where do I start? We subtract 3 because we start with addition. Subtract 3, subtract 3. We end up with negative 2, absolute value. X minus 1 is less than negative 8. Are we there so far? So what is the last operation? Multiplication. So what is the inverse? Divide by negative 2. Divide by negative 2. We got absolute value, x minus 1. And who saw that we divided by a negative? So then you flip the symbol. Flip it, and we got positive 4. Make a note for yourself on these. Flip symbol when multiplying or dividing by a negative. All right. From there. Oh, by the way, look up, please. Look up. Look up to the screen. We have the absolute value by itself pointing to the right. Tell your neighbor what kind of inequality we're going to get at the end. Or is correct. So let's see. So from here, two inequalities. Here we go. One for -4 and one for +4. I write x minus 1, x minus 1. What's so important about this one? Tell your neighbor, please. That when it turns into negative, what happens to the symbol? You flip and flip. Well, this one doesn't flip. It stays the same. This one is the only one that flips. Here we go. So, +1, x is less than -3. +1, x is greater than 5. Okay, let's graph this. Then we write our solution set. Start at -3. It's an open point. Which one do you want me to test? -4 or -2? Or 0? You want to test 0? Okay, is 0 less than -3? No, so we don't go to the right, we go to the left. Alright. Next. That's 5, an open point. And we test 0. Is 0 greater than 5? No, so we don't go this way, we go the opposite way, which is the other way. Zoom out. Go this way. That's why this is an OR. So our solution set should be easy for this one, right? Solution set of x such that, what is my first one? X less than -3. Or, and you can use the B symbol. And x greater than 5. Let's see. Do we have the work? Yes. Do we have the solution? Yes. Do we have the check? Yes. Do we have the graph? And the solution set. That's 5 points. So be careful with this last page. So before we move on, look up. This last page is about, bless you, inequalities. What would be the one thing, bless you, what would be the one thing you would tell someone that wasn't here to always remember with inequality? So, you know, what would be the one thing that you would tell them? Flip the symbol when they become negative by multiplying or dividing, yes? Do we need one more of those? You sure? Angeline said, yay! Oh, I thought it was you. No, we'll stop right there. Take your stuff. I'm going to stop the video right here, and I'll upload it. This will be part 2. And yes, bye for those of you that were live. Everybody sit down. I'm going to dismiss you by section. Have a good weekend. Bye.